Hello, everyone. This is Stacy. I hope you're having an amazing day. And I want to offer up a short practice thinking of supports. We're going to use the wall and any other props that might make you comfortable, a couple of pillows, and just awareness of how we can use the support of the wall surrounding items to make us just a little bit more comfortable and in the present moment. So if you want to grab a couple pillows, your mat, put yourself relatively close to a wall, and we'll have some fun. But we are going to start seated, and we're going to use that wall for support initially. So our back against the wall, and you could also use a chair if you wanted to have a little bit elevated surface. So a chair with a back on it where you can lean in. And I'm actually going to use my pillows to place them underneath of my knees. And I'm going to go kind of into this butterfly position, but you can have legs stretched out. This is my cat Johnson, by the way. Legs can be stretched out, however you find a sense of ease in the lower body. And so, like I said, I'm going to just bring the soles of my feet together, knees supported on these pillows, and let's just begin to acquaint ourselves with our breath. Just breathing in, breathing out. A gentle flowing breath in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth, and your own rhythmic breath, however you breathe every day, and just feeling the chest rise and fall. Perhaps we breathe deep into the belly. And just notice the stability from the bottom of our spine, up the middle of the spine, the back. The back of the head might even press into the mat. My bun is kind of in the way, but however you can find that sense of support, stability in the spine. Lengthening a little taller with the inhale. Exhaling. And just coming to the present moment where all is calm. We have a few minutes to ourselves to just breathe. And let's take a collective inhale. And on the exhale, open the mouth and sigh it out. Collective inhale through the nose. Exhaling, sighing it out. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling as we sigh it out. And then just gently starting to bring the hands, palms away, thumbs up if that feels right, to the wall. And then we'll just sweep them up the wall, lengthening, growing a little taller as we press down with the seat. Exhale, just slide the hands back down toward the ground. Inhale, floating hands up. Exhale, floating them down. One more time, inhale all the way up. And then the exhale, we're going to leave that left hand up. Right hand just drops down. And we gaze over toward that right hand. We'll find our natural breath. On our next inhale, we'll bring both hands up to the top. Exhale, drop the left hand down, maybe gazing over that left hand. Coming back towards center. And we'll just bring the hands down toward our heart center. Palms can touch if you like. And we'll see if we can straighten those legs. Maybe a little bend in the knee if that feels good. Sometimes I like to place a support of a bolster under my knees if my back is a little tight. And then I'll press those legs into that bolster, letting them support as I hinge forward. And just find this gentle hinge forward. We can round the back a bit if that feels nice. Any pressure on the low back, then we'll bring ourselves back out of the pose and maybe come back to connecting with the wall. Let's take a breath in, lengthen. Exhale, hinging forward. And again, if you're in a chair, you can just hinge forward. And then we'll bring ourselves back up. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, supported legs hinging down. Or if you don't need the support, you can certainly just hinge forward. And then we'll bring ourselves back up tall. Draw the knees in toward the chest, side that bolster out if you don't need it, or that pillow. And then sweeping our legs to the side, we're going to come to an all fours. And in your all fours, feet might be against the wall just to feel that connection. And we're just going to slowly start to circle, drawing little circles around the wrist, and then growing larger circles in both directions, patting the knees if that feels better. Sometimes if our feet are lifted, our knees are digging into the ground, so we might just flatten the top of the feet and place just the toes against the wall. And after we have circled a few times each direction, we'll come back to our neutral spine and find our cat-cow. As we dip the low belly down, the heart and the head lift into our inhale as we exhale, tucking the belly up toward the spine, pressing away with the hands, tucking our chin, perhaps even shaking the head, yes and no, finding some movement, release through that back of the neck. And then inhaling back into our cow as we dip the belly down, lift the chest. So as we flow through that cat-cow, and as we move through our last cat-cow, we'll find that right foot on the wall. And you might have to walk yourselves out a bit, but just find that right foot on the wall. Really press into it. Our shoulders are stacked over our wrist. And we can stay right here and just experiment with moving through the hips, or a spinal balance of pressing into the right hand, lifting the left, gazing down, and a sense of stability as we are stacked, solid, and connected. Bringing our hand down, our right leg down, and switching sides, that left foot pressing into the wall, and taking a moment to adjust ourselves. Maybe moving through the hips. Can stay right here, or we can press into that left hand, reaching the right hand forward, just like we're shaking someone's hand, and honoring the wrist if they feel discomfort, dialing it back, or using a fist for a wrist. We'll bring everything back down, and let's sink the hips to the heels in that child's pose. And child's pose, again, are we offering ourselves support? We might want a pillow or a bolster to rest down on. We can always stack our hands for support as well. So I'm going to choose a pillow or bolster today just to let myself really just chill. Might stay here for about 5-6 hours. I'm just kidding. I just turn the head to the side and just allow the low back to release. A few breaths. I am supported. I am loved. One more round of breath in and out. And as we bring ourselves back up, we can shake out those wrists, whatever we need to. And then we're just going to come to standing and take your time, maybe bringing yourself up to that standing position. And then we're going to face the wall for our down dog today. So placing our hands on the wall, about shoulder width height. And then walking our feet back, always having that safe ground to where we walk back. Finding a bit of an L shape, we can walk the hands down a bit more if that feels better. Feeling the back body beginning to open. And then walking hands back up, maybe sending the hips forward a bit, and then walking them back down. So I always encourage you to play. Do you like to walk the hands back more, finding some more length through the shoulders, or does your body feel a bit better if its feet are closer? We all have different bodies. So a yoga pose is going to look different on everyone based on how they are feeling. So taking a few moments to play with that downward dog. And if you're like, I feel like I want a little strength today, we can always bring ourselves up and do some wall push-ups as we hug the elbows in toward the side. Bring ourselves up and back. Just finding that firm fitting beneath us, either on a mat or whatever we have. And wherever we are, we're going to walk ourselves back up to the wall. We'll turn ourselves around facing the front of the mat one more time. Feet a bit out from the wall, so we have some room to sweep our arms overhead. Inhale as we find a little bit of length. Let's exhale, sit back into that gentle chair pose. I'm going to walk my feet forward in kind of a more upright chair today, but just using that wall, my tush on the wall. Shoulders are rolled back. I find a little strength in the legs. Hands just at my thigh. Lots of support for myself today. And then we can use our hands to press ourselves up, or just use our abdominals to step ourselves up. And then we're going to take that left foot and we're going to step it toward the top of the mat. That back foot is going to be against the wall, the blade of the outer back foot. The front foot will bend in that knee to give us that alignment of the knee over the ankle, again, that support. And coming into our warrior two, placing that back hand against the wall and our front hand forward. And you might be, well, Stacy, my arm is scrunched if my arms are longer. I have very short arms, so this works for me. So again, you can choose that base of support. If your arm wants to be the support, then go ahead and walk your feet out and let that arm reach back. See, mine doesn't quite reach. So either your arm can support you or your foot can support you against the wall. Wherever you are, bring both hands long. They can be bent, doesn't matter. But just allowing yourself to be present, to find that breath, and to find that stability. I'm going to circle that front wrist because it feels like it needs it. You know what? Maybe I'll just circle both wrists. Bring them all the way down. Hands to the hips. And then let's straighten and bend that front leg. You might imagine that we are tough warriors, gazing forward. moving back and forth through that leg. And as we straighten that front leg, let's bring that left arm or that front arm down to the inner part of that thigh, that front thigh. Draw the back shoulder back and rotate, opening ourselves a bit more, this modification of triangle. You can also bring the hand all the way down. Bring the right hand up if that's a version of triangle. But again, choosing your source of support. That back foot really pressing into that wall will give you a little added sense of ease. Maybe, maybe not. A couple breaths. We'll walk our hands back up, rehinge that front leg, and let's lift that back heel, spiraling toward the front. And we're going to walk our feet together and step the left foot back, right foot forward. So I am going to just do the same side. Hi, Fruit Loop. Oh, we have a kitty visiting. Do you see him? Come on, buddy. I'll actually do it this way, otherwise I'll probably get confused. So right foot forward, left foot against that wall. Again, choosing your base of support. Does the hand, this arm feels a little different, so I'm going to walk this foot out, this front arm coming toward us. Choosing, again, to either have the hand on the wall, the foot on the wall, whatever makes you feel best. So gazing over that warrior, finding a stillness to the breath. And then when you're ready, hands to hips. Let's straighten that front leg. Bend and straighten. Beautiful job. Then when you're ready, we'll straighten that front leg. Bring that right hand down to the inside of that thigh. Draw the left shoulder back, looking up over that left corner of the room. Maybe we lift that left arm and descend down a little longer with that right arm into our triangle pose. Beautiful job. Taking a couple breaths. And then when we're ready, bring hands to hips. Bring ourselves up. That back foot lifting on the ball of the foot, spiraling to the top of the mat. Walking that toe up. And we're going to have a little fun. We're going to walk our way back. Have to have a little fun while we're practicing, right? So hopefully we found some support in our warrior two, our triangle poses, and we're going to come to our tree pose. Lots of options with a supported tree, but today we're going to face the wall. Let's start by rolling onto the balls of the foot and then putting them back down, rolling up onto the balls, finding lift in the body. Squeezing the buns in the inner thigh just to feel stability. And as we prepare for our tree, it doesn't matter what foot you start on. I'm going to press into my left and lift my right, but it doesn't matter. We're going to place our hands onto the wall, just the fingertips. Find length in our body from the balls of our feet, the heels of our feet, to the top of our spine. And as we lift this leg open. I'll show you how it looks. Lift that leg open. It might be here, it might be here, it might be here. We're going to keep our hands on the wall. Now you might need a lot of support today, mentally, physically, emotionally, and you can stay right here. You can also play with taking one hand away, taking another hand away, but finding a spot on the wall, zoning in, softening the eyes to where you can just be present. Focus on that one spot, find the breath, and not feel guilty for choosing to keep hands on the wall if that's what we need today. One more round of breath. We'll bring it all down. Let's do our other side. Fingertips on the wall to begin. Pressing into the opposite leg. I'm pressing into my right this time, opening that left knee out. Perhaps it travels up the body. We press down with the feet, lift up with the top of the head, and we soften our face. The lower body's working, our abdominals engaged, but we have a softness to the face. We might take both hands away. We might say, nope. Today, I offer myself a guide and a support. One more round of breath. And we bring it all back down. Let's take those palms away, thumbs down. Reach for those laced fingers if you're able. Drive them down the body. Just a gentle lift to the heart space, just opening up our chest before we head down to the ground. Head can tilt back if it feels okay on the neck. And then we'll release back to our stance. And now we're going to find ourselves seated with our feet on the wall. So I kind of like sometimes to take my feet against the wall away from the wall just to see how I feel. See if I feel length or stability. And then I take my feet and I place them on the wall. And it just offers an evenness to the hips. Might feel comfortable on the back, or it might not be your thing. Can always opt to soften and use these bolsters as we did before on either side of the knees. But if we're able and we can sit up tall or even supporting ourselves under the knees, let's take a breath. Inhale, reach the crown of the head high. Exhale, gently twist over to one side. Once we arrive, we'll just find our best breath. We're not worried about looking too far behind us. As we inhale back to center, tall spine. Take a few breaths in and out. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the other side. Gently gazing over that back shoulder. And when we're ready, bring ourselves back up tall. Great job, everybody. We're going to finish with legs up the wall. No pretty way to come into it. And I'm going to show you legs up the wall. And then I'm going to tell you how to get out of it. And I want you just to stay there as long as you need. I don't want to short anyone on time. So let me show how to get into it. One hip against the wall. We'll just hinge our feet up, and it doesn't matter if it takes you a bit to scooch up there, however it is. We'll find that place where our legs feel rested. Bottom as close to the wall as you can. You might even play with butterflying the feet, with widening the legs, just all kinds of options that you can try. And when you're done with legs up the wall, y'all stay in it right there. You're going to bring your knees down to your chest, roll onto your side, stay for a few breaths, and then come up. Just like to warn everybody to rest a little bit after legs up the wall, rest on their side because their blood pressure has dropped. So that's how you will get out of it when we're done. You'll just press yourselves up and go on with your day. But let's all settle into our legs up the wall. Just relax from our feet to the ankle, to the knee, the hip, the belly reaches back toward the spine. Every exhale, perhaps feeling more connection with the mat. The rise and fall of our chest and belly. The shoulders relax back and our face softens. Our hands can do whatever they like. And we lie here for as long as we want. You can lie here for 10, 15 minutes, or just a few breaths if you're short on time. And just remembering that when you're ready to come out, drawing the knees in, laying on your side before you come up. And we are going to end my time with you all right here. I leave you supported. I leave you with feelings of love and peace. May you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste, my friends.